Welcome back, everybody, to my brand new FIFA 19 career mode. We're going to try something a little bit different. If you guys have been reading over on Operation Sports, which by the way is a great place for sliders, you'll see that the shtick that I'm going to put forward this time around is to sim up until essentially the date that I actually started this career mode, which was March 20th, 2019. So as we're going through, this is going to be a quick summary of just the squad, settings, staff decisions, all that sort of stuff. And the rest of it, gameplay-wise, is going to come once we get through the actual sim. So I'm going to move a little bit quickly in the background, and hopefully it's enough time for you guys to see what you need to see, and I can hopefully comment on some of the stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy the format, and give me your thoughts, comments, and if you like it, subscribe. It's always good to know somebody's out there listening. So let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. We are doing a career mode this time around with Southampton. Now, if you've ever watched any of my career modes, you know that this is a team that I really enjoyed growing. They have a great history. They've developed a lot of youth players, and I would really, in real life, I'd like to see them do well. I'm not necessarily a supporter, but I think we can all agree. I mean, they've had, I think they're the only club in the Premier League that's had a positive transfer differential, which says a lot in this era. So that being said, basically what I've done is I've put in a couple of rules for myself. I'm playing on the PC, by the way. So when it comes to staff, and this is moving really quickly, so guys, I apologize. In the future, I might decide to slow these down. We'll have to see, but I wanted to get this video out so we could get started at least. You guys can pause on anything if you want to take a look at the roster. So a couple of rules that I want to go through. When it comes to transfer scouts, and I hopefully have stuck with this anyways, I don't always commit to it, I decided to make sure that if I sign a scout from a particular country, I only scout that country. Now, if that becomes a problem down the line, we'll sort it out. We've got the cheat engine. Sometimes it doesn't work. I have one scout that I'm going to try and use for just general scouting of players. They won't go to any particular country, but random players that I'm interested in. In addition, when it comes to youth academy scouts, that one is an obvious. I know there's a lot of countries that we can't scout, but for now we're going to stick with the ones. We're going to stick with the idea that wherever the scout is for a youth academy is where they're going to scout, and so at least they'll create something different. It won't make, if I do another career mode somewhere down the line, then it'll at least have that level of difference. Create some level of difficulty as well, although the scouts are pretty good, and you'll see. I do end up finding a few really good players very early on. So who knows if it actually is a good idea, but let's figure it out as we go. So I picked a scout for the youth academy from England. I went with physically strong because I think that's sort of the FIFA norm if you want to get good players that have speed, etc. And then I went with an Italian and Belgium scout as well to complement the English scout because. And I went just looking for any player, mostly just to give a little bit of differentiation. We all know Southampton isn't necessarily scouting Belgian and Italian players, but for the sake of fun, let's just do it. Why not, right? If we can get the next Andrea Pirlo, that'd be great. So here's a look at the transfer market after August 2018. Some big signings. You've got Son going to Juventus. Lingard's going to Barcelona. Bellerin to Liverpool. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold going to Arsenal. So I don't know if they made a switch, a trade of some kind there, but that's an interesting, I guess, like-for-like transfer. I don't know if that's a good thing in FIFA or a bad thing. De Ligt also going from Ajax to Manchester City. So they've really gone ahead and strengthened their back line. This is, I think, I missed the clip because, damn, it's moving quickly, but I think this is the January 2019 transfer window. We've got Goetze going somewhere. Alonso's on the move, and I think, yeah, I saw Timo Werner. Timo Werner was a new one as well, who also left. He's going to Real Madrid. So I think they picked up Dzeko and Eden Dzeko and Timo Werner over at Real Madrid. So that is an interesting decision for them. So this is the final sim. This is going to take us to March 20th here. Apologies, guys. This video is a little bit wonky. I've been trying to slow down the video so that I can get some of these standings in and be able to comment on them because they move pretty quickly, but alas, that's not going to work. So you guys will have to just pause, see if there's anything that you want to take a look at. But what I will say, interesting notes, we crashed out of both cups in the third round. City won the Carabao Cup against Chelsea, quite realistic. And Chelsea, on the other hand, not very realistic, is sitting in first right now in the table, along with Man City being in fifth. Southampton, we've ended up in ninth so far, which is much better than I expected from the sim engine. So that is pretty good. And as you can see in the background, Champions League groups, Europa League groups having gone by. I think so Champions League here, and then Europa League just went by. They're pretty quick, but I think most of the major players are there. Juve, Liverpool are facing off. Here's a look at the squad. We've got Danny Ings leading the line there with 11 goals. He's actually, I think, the top 5 in scoring in the league, which is somewhat shocking. And I think Steven Davis, who's on loan at Rangers, is the only player who's gone down by any overall points. So that's pretty good. Now, I think we've got about a minute and a half left in this. I wanted to give you guys another look at the Youth Academy. Tried to get rid of any players under 80. We've got a few like this guy, Giacomo, and I didn't see his last name, but he's a high potential. Gallo is a high potential, so we're going to get a lot of good players. And I guess the question is, do we want to keep them or turn them into funds to buy some more popular players? I'm not sure. I like the idea of developing some players. I don't want to keep all of them and make it just a youth academy team, but it would be great to keep a couple of them and see what they can do in this squad. So if you see anybody you like as the years go on or as the season or days go on, let me know in the comments. And I think that's about it as we sort of wrap things up with the transfer list, just sending some guys out to scout. We've got through the hard part. It was pretty complicated getting the sim up to March 20th and doing the video and doing the work for OS, but hopefully it's at least a start that's interesting to you guys. And if you do enjoy, again, look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Take care and enjoy the remainder of what is probably the fastest FIFA video you will see. Take care, guys.